Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Organised. Today I have Coach Lee with us. Lee is a criminal defense attorney by day and a productivity and accountability coach, as she likes to say, throughout. Coach Lee helps transform the lives of women who feel trapped in the demands of their careers to thrive without compromising their lives. Perfect. She helps you master time management, build boundaries, and develop strategies to thrive at work without compromising their personal lives. Coach Lee helps you to create a life that your career can't destroy. She helps you unlock your true potential so that you can create a life you love. As women, we play so many roles and think that we can do it all, that we often put ourselves last, if at all. She's here to help you create systems that work for your life, career, or business, even when life gets busy. She promotes systems and structure over hustle and waiting for motivation. Oh, yes. Coach Lee is an author. Her book, Lee's Laws of Productivity, is the ultimate guide to getting things done, boosting efficiency, and achieving your goals without feeling overwhelmed or stressed out. Oh my goodness, you are my kind of woman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, beyond organized. So we have to have systems. We got to have some structure to be organized.
Yeah, it's a good fit. And I got to say, that was one heck of a bio. That was really impressive.
Thank you.
It's so lovely to have you here. I would love to know what got you inspired, especially when you're going from attorney by day to like productivity coach by night. I would love to hear your story behind that and what got that happening.
I never set out to be a coach, this coach. I love what I do as an attorney. I don't ever want to stop being an attorney. I mean, eventually, I'll retire. But for years, so it really started with like health and fitness. I was in these like accountability groups for health and fitness, and it was run by someone else, but we would share our workouts. So, of course, you're cheering people on. And when people are talking about struggles, like I would offer suggestions. So my coach, the girl who was running, was like, hey, you should sign up to be a coach. You're basically coaching, and then you will get a discount on these products. It's through a program called Beachbody, now called Body, Shanti, P90X, like those programs. So I ended up signing up, and I was just like basically a discount coach. But essentially through that, people started saying like, hey, you're motivating, you're encouraging, you should be a coach. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this health and fitness thing. Like, what are you talking about? They're like, no. Besides that, because a lot of the women in the group were balancing, husband and kids, sometimes themselves working. And it was like, I want to meal prep and eat healthy. My kids don't. So how do I like fit all this stuff in? And so for years, people were like, you're motivated. You're encouraging. You should be a life coach. And people outside of that, like in my regular life, would be like, how do you do all these things? Because attorney was working out, meal prepping, doing all the different things. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I just do it. It didn't seem complicated or stressful. It's normal. This is my life. And so again, you should be a life coach. You should be a life coach. And I'm like, what even is a life coach? Because back then, this is like 2018, 16, like life coaching wasn't like as big and popular as it is now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one has time for that. Full-time attorney, who's got time? Let's fast forward to March of 2020. We all know what happened March of 2020.
A lot of people had time.
Exactly. So thankfully I didn't lose my job, but because, especially as an attorney, like we were sent home to work and we only literally had to come into the office like once a week, and they really were rotating it to where if you don't need to come in, like don't come in. And so now I have nothing but time because I'm naturally a morning person. So essentially I kept my same routine. So every day by like lunchtime, I'm like, okay, I've done a day's worth of work. What am I going to do with the rest of the day? Because they weren't caring about us being logged in from 8 to 5 because now parents are teachers. All the things are happening.
Yeah.
And so about a week in, I'm like, I'm bored. I'm working out. I'm going for a walk. I'm reading. I'm doing puzzles. I'm watching TV. Like, I'm bored. Like, what else? And so then those thoughts of people saying you should be a coach started coming back, and me saying I didn't have time. And I'm like, oh. And once you start thinking about something, the algorithm starts showing it to you. So then Instagram and Facebook are feeding me all these different ads about become a life coach. So I signed up for a couple of the different free webinars because probably the attorney in me, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. If I'm going to say I'm going to be a coach, I know you don't have to have certifications. I'm going to sign up to figure out, do I really want to do this and get some certification? So the program that I ultimately ended up going through to get certified, I made it halfway through the first video. First video was all of like 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I understand now. I understand why they say I should be doing this. I'm in.
Yeah. Easy. I love that. I know, I can totally relate. I know it's just, see, for me, I remember March 2020 easily. I feel like a part of my life is still stuck there. It's
Agreed.
like, did we ever get past that? I don't know. But it was a really full on time for me because I was in insurance at the time and I did get to work from home even before COVID hit. But I had a team to look after. I had a 4 and a 2-year-old at the time, and like juggling all of that, and daycares were shut and juggling 12 people, and it was full on. It was so full on. But after COVID and things settled down, and it was 2024 for me when God really spoke and was like, you're doing this. And I'm like, and I just had my 4th kid by then. He was only 7 weeks old. And I'm like, but then at the same time, I'm like, but I guess I have time and it's better that I do it now than before I go back to work. So
Touche.
once I was like, okay, God, you're telling me life coaching, but what is it? And then I look into it and 5 minutes in, I was like, okay, yep, okay. Now I'm seeing how all these parts of my life brings
Come
me to this
together.
point. And it's just crazy. And even the fact that back when I was like 24, I studied audio engineering and now I'm using it for podcasting. And it's like all these things that I didn't think would ever piece together. And God's just brought it all together. And I'm like, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
And he even gave me
Yeah.
the name She's Organized for my main business and nobody had it. So I'm like, okay, now it's mine. It's trademarked, mine for 10 years. So
There you go.
that's it. Do things properly, right? I like to follow the things legally as well as I'm sure you do too.
And funny that you say that. My business is actually called Legal Lee because the Lee, I coach Lee, and then the legal. So I was like, that was a nod to the law. So yes.
It's so cool. It's so cool. I did notice that with your Instagram and that as well. So I would love to hear how you mainly help people in your sphere and how you actually help them with coaching. And I've seen a lot of your videos, particularly around being like a lawyer, an attorney and that, and being productive. So I'd love to hear a bit more about how you help people.
I'm focusing on leaning more into the legal profession, mainly because I realized that when you talk to everyone, you talk to no one, and I had been hesitant and resisted to it for so long. But
Mm-hmm.
essentially, the idea of leaning into the legal profession is so that I can use my day-to-day life and use the examples from my life for other women to see themselves in it. So whereas I'm going to use a legal example for you, like when you were in insurance, you might be like, okay, she's talking about court, but this is where I would plug in my team meetings. And so now you can
Mm-hmm.
understand what that looks like for you. And so for me, it's all about one-on-one coaching because when it comes to productivity, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Like before we were recording, I was talking about how I get up at 2:30 in the morning. And while I will never advocate for one of my clients to wake up at 2:30 in the morning, I've been up since 2:30 in the morning and I've done my morning routine, my devotional, my reading, I meal prepped, I did a workout, and I went for a run. And now here I am doing this podcast interview because it's nighttime for you, but it's morning time for me. And once we get off, I'm still going to have about 30 minutes to an hour till it's time for me to log in to work because I'm working from home today. And so when it comes to productivity, that's the customization that each individual person needs. And especially like you said in the bio, like as women, we play these different roles. Like I don't have kids, but like you were saying, like you've got 4 kids. So what productivity looks like for you and how you organize and systematize your life for yourself, let alone the kids, is going to be different. And so for me, that's why the one-on-one approach is important because in a group setting, no offense to anyone who does group coaching, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So if you're a person to sit back and just let life happen to you, it's going to keep happening to you.
Yeah.
And so I'm all about helping you to find and figure out what works for you. Your wake up time, your bedtime, your structure. Like if every day needs to be different, let's create, like, let's almost like CEO theme your days. Like, what does that look like for you? Because if it's going to work, it has to work for you in order to stick.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I do think you are right when it comes to that personalized coaching, because I do have a group coaching program, but honestly, it is the ones that speak up and ask for help that get that extra help. And I even say you can only do so much. Like there's the group coaching calls, there's, training and resources in there, but there's a reason why it's a cheap membership. There's a reason because it's not personalized. I can only help you so much. If you want to know how things are going to look throughout your week and how to dive in deeper, how to manage your time better, how to sort your house out, whatever it is, then that one-on-one coaching is what is needed. So I completely hear you with that. And I don't know about you, but I know for me, I like having that one-on-one time with people.
Me
I
too.
like getting to know them and to
Exactly, because once I
help
get to
them.
know you, I can understand you, and then, like, if we're
Yeah.
following each other on social media, when I see something happening, I'm like, "I'm proud of that," or I'm
Yeah.
like, we're gonna bring that up in the next session."
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. So in your experience, what do you think is the main challenge or the main problem that you see in your sphere when it comes to productivity?
Hmm. Trying to do what works for other people. I think a big part of it is trying to focus on what someone else says. We live in this microwave society because we have access to all these things that we have squirrel brains. We're
Yeah.
busy trying to hop and jump to the next thing that we don't often sit down and just like focus and lock in.
Mhm.
You're at work, you're working on, you're checking your emails, the phone rings. Now I'm done checking emails, I'm answering the phone. Now my coworker comes in to ask me a question. Oh, now my boss needs me. Oh, my calendar reminder went off. Now it's time for me to do this appointment.
Mm.
And that email is still there waiting to be finished.
Yeah.
We don't and I get that in different roles and in different careers, you have different, levels of access to your computer and not computer, excuse me, your calendar in terms of who can access it, adding things to it, taking things off, things like that.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, we still have access to our calendar. So what blocks are you putting in place to make sure that things are structured? Like what communication are you having? If people have access to your calendar, for example, if something involves travel, are they putting the travel time on there or are they just expecting you to know that it involves travel? Because the
Mm.
default reminder of everything going off 15 minutes in advance, if it takes you
Mm.
30 minutes to get there, you're already late. And so now we're rushing and running
Yeah.
around, stressing ourselves out, which is going to start putting us behind.
Yeah.
And so I think the biggest issue is that we don't actually take time to plan. Like we don't
Yeah.
actually take time to look at our calendar, even if you only look at it a day in advance. You're
Mm.
getting to work at 8 o'clock and looking at your calendar to figure out what's going on today. When if you would have looked at it last night, you would have saw that, oh, I probably should bring my lunch because I've got back-to-back meetings and I'm not going to have time to run out and get the lunch that I thought I was going to go get. So
Yeah.
just taking a couple minutes to pause, to like
Mm.
actually look at what's going on instead of running from thing to thing and responding to other people's emergencies because their emergencies likely aren't your emergencies.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. And it's so true. I love to say to my women that if you can at least take just 5 minutes the night before to just look at the next day ahead rather than in the morning, because like you said, it might be too late. And I know for me, I like to look over my next day and just go, yep, okay, all my ducks are in a row.
Yep.
Everything's kind of ready to go. And
Mhm.
sometimes I like if I'm starting work at 8, I'm starting at 8, but I might look and go, oh goodness, I actually have to make a phone call at 8. So if I'm not aware of what I've got to do and I'm like logging in, doing everything at 8, and then it's like, oh, I'm already late to calling someone, so
Right.
it's just, I like to just be on top of it. But then I can also go, okay, kids have to be out the door by a certain amount of time and all that kind of stuff as well, because it's hard enough juggling kids. Plus, I need to work out, is my husband taking them? Do I need to take them? If I'm taking them, they're going to wake up even earlier because I start work at 8. If he's taking them, he doesn't start till 9, so gives a bit of time. It's all those things. It's
Yeah.
too much to deal with in the morning. And I know that and it has happened, but if my mornings aren't as well prepared, then I am stressed for more of the
Agreed.
day. But if I have some sort of plan, even if it doesn't go fully to plan, but if I have a rough plan the night before, I wake up feeling just so much more calm. And then I'm not snapping at the kids. I'm not like rushing my husband along. I'm just, okay, we're good. No, I got time. It's all good. Let's go.
We coasting, we coasting. We
Exactly.
got it. We got it.
I'm a better mom. I'm a better version of me. I actually like myself instead
And
of
they like
turning
you
into,
too.
yeah, that's it. That's it. So I think what you're saying is very on point. And I would love to know, what's one thing that you would love women to know out there to help them in their journey?
Productivity isn't complicated because really when you think about productivity is you doing. We
Mm.
do all day long. But are you doing the right things, the things that are going to make your life easier, make your life more efficient, the things that are going to actually move the needle forward. Because how many things do we do throughout the day that are like, no offense, but pointless? Like, there's plenty of things that we do that we're like, oh, you get to the end of the day, you're like, I wish I wouldn't have wasted time. Or you think about the things you didn't get done, and then you're like, you don't necessarily think about the things you did instead of the things you didn't get done. So I want
Yeah.
people to know that, like, it's not that complicated to be productive, because
Mm.
productivity is about doing and accomplishing. We do and
Yeah.
accomplish a lot, but is
Yeah.
it the right things or the things that are going to move you forward?
That's true. It is more like it's the tool really to just help you live the life that you
Yep.
want to be living. It's and that's sort of when I even say she's organized to people, or even beyond organized with the podcast, it's like organizing isn't the end goal. It's getting to a point where you can have that balance. So you're feeling like you're in control of your life and in your day as much as God allows. And then you, and then you can actually get on with things that are important to you, the relationships, I don't know, cooking, whatever it is you want to do, that you
Yeah.
can actually live your life and enjoy it. And this helps you facilitate that. And it's the same thing, like with productivity. I find that because look, I used to go too far the other way where I was so over organized that I was miserable as well, because everything was so strict and rigid and there was no grace in there. There was no flexibility. And so, and I think a lot of people, even when they think of productivity, when they're quite sort of disorganized, they think I'm going to be so miserable. My whole life is going to be controlled, and I'm a spontaneous free bird, and I don't like that. But it's not even like that at all. It really doesn't have to be. When it doesn't really matter what your personality is, right? Like, however you want to live your life, it's finding, as you said, working one-on-one with people. It's finding that balance that's for you and that works for you, because what I can tell you now, I'm not getting up at 2:30 in the morning. I am not doing what you do. But at the same time, you're not going to do what I do. Like, why would you? Because we
Right.
have different lives, and it's okay. And I think it's important to realize that being productive just means you're moving the needle forward. You actually achieve something in the day, right? And so you can get to the end of the day when your head hits the pillow and go, yeah, okay, got some stuff done. That was good. Let's bring on
Exactly.
tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, wants to get coached by you, maybe even wants to grab your book, where's the best place to find you?
I am at legally.me everywhere. It's LEGALLEE.me, website, Instagram, TikTok, like, so all the social media handles. And yeah, just reach out. My book's on
Cool.
Amazon, so you can get the book off Amazon now.
I would love to hear just before we sort of wrap up, we've got a few minutes. I'd love to hear a little bit about your book and what you've put in there.
So here's the funny thing about my book. I wrote my book like in like my first year of coaching, and then it sat for like 2 years before I found someone to help me with publishing, doing the KDP, all the things. Cause I'm like, okay, I wrote it. I'm not trying to figure out that. Like how you were saying, like I did audio engineering, so I knew how to do all of that for this podcast. Yeah, now I'm not trying to figure out how to become a publisher. Find somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
But in going back and reading and editing it after letting it sit for 2 years, like it's funny how much, if you trust yourself, you realize that you've had the answers all along. So I started coaching after writing the book. Well, I guess I was coaching while I was writing the book. But like, I was like, oh, I need to develop this framework.
Yeah.
When I went back to start editing my book, and I was like, girl, your framework is in the book. Did you forget that you put that in there? Because yeah. So basically, my book is called Lee's Laws of Productivity, but it's about literally simplifying productivity. The Lee method is 3 simple words: look, examine, and execute. It's about taking the big picture, is the looking part. Examining is kind of that nitty gritty, working to figure out what pieces need to go together, and executing. Go do it. And so when you think about productivity, when you think about doing, it's what do I need to do? How am I going to do it? And let me go do.
I love it.
Literally the Lee method can work for literally anything. Meal prepping, grocery shopping, picking out your clothes, figuring out what time you want to wake up, starting a podcast, recording a podcast, writing a book, like literally anything that you need to do typically involves a plan. Yes, you can be spontaneous, but even in the midst of being spontaneous, like once it's time for you to go do the thing, like you decided you wanted to be spontaneous, then you had to figure out the thing you were going to be spontaneous about, and you still went and did it.
Yeah.
So like literally the Lee method is showing just how simple productivity can be, how simple planning could be, and how you can apply it to like literally any and every area of your life.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that. I think it is nice and simple, and I like simple. I think a lot of people like simple. And I know with me, I've got 3 steps as well, but with organizing, probably more so than productivity specifically. And it's the identify. So it's, see where there might be even just limiting beliefs on certain things, so it can work for any kind of organizing physically, mentally, spiritually. But identify and then simplify is the second one. Simplify, and I've got my own method inside of that too. And then I couldn't even think of a word, so I came up with flow. So it's the maintenance side of things, like actually the day-to-day living through it. So it's just identify, simplify, flow.
And that's literally almost like if you translate that over to the Lee method, like look, identify.
Exactly.
Simplify is examine. The maintenance or the doing is the execution.
Yeah, execute is such I wish I came up with that word. It's much better than flow, but that's fine. It's the core of it is the same, really.
Yeah.
Which is great. But isn't it great how even in our differences and the overall laws of it are still the same, and it doesn't matter your background, my background, thousands of other people in the productivity and organizing spaces probably all have the same type of things, because at the end of the day, this is what works. We've lived it. We go through it. It works. Your method works for you. My method works for me. They're very similar. Great. We're telling you, this is what it is. Do it.
Literally. It's not that hard.
That's it. And the whole point is to simplify. It is to make things easier, so then you can get on with what's important in the day. So
right. You can always complicate it later. Like when it comes to like a morning routine, when it comes to anything, like simplify it first, get consistent with it, and then grow it and expand it, and add on different pieces or whatever the case may be.
Definitely. And I think as women, not speaking for all women, but I know a good chunk of us, we can overcomplicate things. We can make things become completely unnecessary a lot of the time. We just make it more complex than it needs to be. And when we can just stop and reevaluate, just simplify this process, and then you can actually move forward, because we're overwhelmed a lot of the time, aren't we? We end up being stuck. And that's what you help with. That's what I help with, because who wants to be stuck? Even one more day, it's a day wasted, and nobody wants to waste a day. You don't want to get to the end of your life and look back and just think, oh my goodness, half my life I was standing still.
Yeah. I mean, we literally don't want to waste a day, because think about how often when you waste a day, you're like, oh, you're beating yourself up about the wasted time that you wasted. Mm-hmm. So literally, you don't want to waste a day.
Yeah. Yeah. And plus, tomorrow's not trying to be morbid, but tomorrow's not guaranteed, right?
Right.
So you just want to make the most of today. So when that day does come, you can go, okay, yep, I did everything that I was put on this earth to do, and no regrets.
Yeah. They talk about like the graveyard the graveyard cemetery, whichever form you use, has like the most potential, because people die with all this possibility within them. And my goal is to die empty. To have given and done, left an impact that I feel good about, like, okay, like whether I know it's my day or not, like, I'm happy with what I got accomplished.
Yeah, I hear you. And I think sometimes, I can even get caught up in that, so much so that I'm too busy thinking about the future that I kind of need to bring it back and go, hang on, what am I called to today? What's God even asking me to do today? And just being obedient in that, and not trying to take on the whole world either. Just because I can doesn't mean I should.
Right. So like literally, we're not God. He's got this.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're his understudy. We're just here to help.
Exactly. And I've got to say, there's probably times in my life when I've been a lot more jam packed in my schedule and a lot more full on than even now. But I'm okay with that. Like, I like having some buffer, having some margin to allow for life to happen because it's going to
Yeah,
happen.
exactly.
So, anyway, well, look, I think that there's a lot of things that we could talk about with productivity, but I love that we just got started on the things that you do and how and I love how you're pushing into helping your niche more as well and actually helping those particularly in the law space, but it's easily translated to
Yeah.
any business woman really, I think is fantastic. And do you find that you've got quite an audience of lawyers, attorneys, and people in the law space that are needing that productivity advice more?
Yes. And I think now that I'm real, so like at work, I'm the go-to person. Like when the new hires start, they're like, "Hey, girl, can you get them
Train.
organized, please? And thank you."
Yeah.
But also like my content, especially this month, because I'm gearing up for a masterclass, and like so officially, like June 1st is when I was like, okay, officially going all in on the legal space. Like I've been toying with it coming into this year, but I like
Yeah.
dibble dabbling, going here, going there. So June 1st, I really started leaning in. And like, so my coworkers have been commenting on my post and I'm like, I know you in real life. And so when so I'll do like a reply reel. It's like, I know you in real life. So this is what I'm gonna tell you to do because I know you in real life. But also let me walk around to your office and be like, girl, get it together. Because why are
Yeah.
you doing it? So I think it definitely is helping. And when I look back over like the time of me coaching, like my best clients were lawyers. Like, yes, I've helped other people as well, but I was like, I think it's because I truly understand
Yeah.
court, having to travel, do this, this, and that. And once I lean in and like honed in on that, I can now connect it to potentially other people in other areas.
Yeah.
You know, once we have a conversation to figure out like, is working together a good idea? But yeah, I would definitely say
Yeah.
like now that I've been like leaning in on the legal, it's opened up opportunities and it's helping me to be clearer about even the systems that I've changed for
Yeah.
myself year to year within my own job, within my own career, because September will be 13 years that I've been an attorney. I
Ooh.
don't do stuff the same way as
Yeah.
then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. And I love that the more you lean into the direction that you're being led down, but
Literally. I'm like, okay,
that
Lord, I'm gonna stop
you
fighting it.
become
I got it. I got it.
well, you become who you need to be in the process, but it's all translatable skills and information, right? So then you can help people that aren't necessarily lawyers, but you're so clear in how you do things. You go, yeah, I can easily see how that would work for you in your industry and what you do. And it makes things easier because I was like you at the start where it's like I tried to talk to everyone, crickets. There was no one.
Mhm.
And then last year, the Lord was like, I really want you to speak to the Christian mums, not every other mum. And yes, I've got plenty of people in my circle still that are not Christians, and they're more than welcome. And I love helping them too. But since being more in the Christian space, I'm like fully me.
Yeah.
The way that I do things, because I don't just talk about time management and home management, I talk about time stewardship and,
The
financial
alignment and the
stewardship
flow.
and all that stuff too. It's different. It's not the same thing. And when you are coming from an angle of you're not just managing things, but you're looking after and you're taking care of something that God has entrusted to you, it's different. And
Yeah.
so, and that has been something that I've been learning and growing in even just more this year in this process of stepping more into it. I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to see where I sit differently to everyone else in this space. Like, I'm finding myself,
Yeah.
but then that builds my confidence and my ability to be able to help the person in front of me a lot more. And
Yeah.
I don't have to speak to the Christian mums. I can speak to anyone, but this is what you get because I know who I am now and I know what I offer. And so that confidence then translates into something else, right? So it
Yeah, I
helps.
completely resonate with that because, like, I made the decision that because, like, I already had content that was recorded for May because typically the planning part of me, like, I
Mhm.
batch my content. And so, like, in May is kind of when this started coming up. And then, like, I had a conversation with like my coach in my mastermind, and then the next day did an interview that was like a paralegal community, and then she wanted to do like a partnership. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to start toying with it during the month of May, but come June 1st, I'm officially go all in just because I'm not going to re-record this content. And so like I was toying with it, and then like 3 days later, like I did a live, and like I was using the legal examples, and then a girl came on, she ended up in like my DMs. She signed up as a client to work with me one-on-one. She's not an attorney. She's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, God wink. Lean into the legal. You still can speak to the others. Got it.
Exactly.
Understood. Thank you for this confirmation. And now I'm willing. I was working on doing it, but now like seeing it in action of I leaned in, and then this person who is in no way an attorney, who's literally an entrepreneur, has her own business, resonated, was in my DM and was like, girl, I think I need to work with you.
Yeah. Perfect. And that's it. God has your people lined up for you, the same as he does for me. And when we're just obedient to what he says and to what he's asking of us, then those people can find us, you know? Then we're ready. He's ready. He goes, okay, Lee, you are ready for this person now, because I needed you to be obedient in this thing. Now I know you've got it. You're going to take care of her. Fantastic. Like, it just happens. And sometimes you can be banging your head against the wall for a very long time, and it can be very, very frustrating. But then all of a sudden things shift. You turn that corner and you're just like, okay, God, now I see. Now I see all that persistence paying off.
So like 5 years from now, we're going to look back on this moment and be like, why do we ever doubt leaning into Christian women, leaning into the legal field?
Exactly.
Like, why was that? Like, why do we ever think that we should not do that?
I know. Once you've had that experience and that revelation, it's like, well, duh, why didn't I? But until you do that, you just... There's fear. Yeah, you just don't know how it's going to go. And am I going to lose the few people I've got? Like, and all of that. So,
You're speaking the same, like, same.
It's funny how you can go through all of that. And I know that my audience listening aren't necessarily business mums. I know there's quite a few that are, but I feel like even if they don't have a business like ours, then there is something that they can relate to in this, because
it applies
God calls
to life,
us all into obedience with something, right?
It applies to life. Like your decision to invest in working with a coach, joining a membership, to seeking help and getting help. Your ability to think that I can do things differently. Like my house doesn't have to be disorganized. I don't have to be like frazzled running through the day, like without a plan. Like it applies, because so often I find that people are hesitant to, like you were saying, like you're talking about the rigidity of like a schedule. People are so hesitant to like work on being productive because they think it's going to be this, every minute of my day has to be like itemized, but it doesn't have to be. So I think this conversation, like even like us discussing how it looked like for us, it take that and apply that to life. Take that and apply it to, joining a membership, working with us, like whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you now, when I work with my clients, almost all of them, I don't think there's a single person that I haven't done this for. And I've had about 100 people now, but every single one of them, we bring up rest and scheduling in downtime for them, time, however that looks for them. Some people love to go for a run. Other people love to sit and do their crocheting. Like, everyone is different. But that's almost the first thing that I look at when I'm looking at their week and how things go. Is like, okay, so where's your time in this? Where's your downtime? Where's your time to journal or pray or whatever is important to them? And they're just like, oh, but I've got kids and I'm doing this. And from the minute they wake up to the minute they go to sleep, it's filled up with everyone else and everything else. And it's like, yeah, now I can see why you're burning out. You can't pour from an empty cup. So I'm sure you experience the same thing, when to be more productive, you got to have that downtime, right? You got to have that time to refuel.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
You have to give from the overflow. If you don't fill your cup first, you're going to be resentful about having to do for other people, even if it's your own kids.
And so people are thinking, oh, I've got no more time to give to be more productive. It's like, a lot of the time we're pulling things out of your schedule. Oh no, but I can't let anything go. Everything has to be there. Yeah, well, that's what we're here for, because trust me, we will find something.
Or we'll find the time for where you can actually fit this in, the thing that you think you don't have time for.
But yeah, that too. Yeah, oh, I don't have time. Oh, but I scrolled through my Facebook feed for about 3 hours today, so.
Did you say you just binge watched a show? Tell me more about that.
Yeah. 5 seasons. Wow. Yeah, I know. I'm sure either one of us could help with that. Anyway, I feel like I could just keep talking on and on and on, but let's wrap it up for today. I am so grateful to have you, and I'm so glad we got to connect, because I love connecting with a fellow organized person. So
Yes.
It was really good.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it as well. I'm glad that we were able to make this happen.
No, me too. And I'll make sure that all the details are in the show notes for people to find you, find your book, and get in touch with you if they're wanting some extra coaching from you. We'll have everything there, make it nice and easy. And yeah, I really appreciate your time today.
I appreciate you so much as well. Thank you.